Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So today I'm going to be doing an Elves guide in the Elf City. So these are the Ioworth Guards, Scouts, the Khadarn Rangers, and the Khadarn Magers. So these are Slayer tasks, and they're very good money just in like camping and stuff. So in this guide I'll just show you how to kill them with the gear setups, the inventory setups, and the XP rates and all that stuff. And I will be doing a test at the end of the video to see like how much money you can make, experience, and charms and all that stuff. So if you want to see that, stay tuned to the end of the video. But first up, let's talk about the requirements. I'd say that it's good to have at least like 70 to 80 or higher combat stats, maybe a little bit higher. As for like prayer, soul split is really good here because they do actually hit you a decent amount. But if you don't have soul split, you just have to use more food. But there's banks all around, so banking is not an issue. And obviously better pots is better for you, so higher herb lore is also recommended. But the main requirement you need to kill these guys is you need to have Elf City unlocked, and which means you need to have Plague's End quests required, and that has to be done or whatever. So I think that requires like 10 different 75 plus skills. I don't know them off the top of my head, but there's a lot of them, so I definitely recommend doing that quest if you don't have that, so you can actually be in the Elf City. But if you can't, then this guide is not for you. This monster is very good, and definitely do not skip it on your Slayer tasks. So for the gear setups, let's do magic first. Here I'm wearing Subjugation and my Noxus Staff, and then everything else. I recommend having an 80 plus magic weapon, so like Chaotic Staff at the bare minimum. Virtus Wand, Virtus Book. You can maybe go a little bit lower and do Abbey Wands and the Orb. You can also do the Armadyl Battle Staff. You can also do Staff of Light even. So there's a lot of ways you could do this monster. I just prefer obviously the Noxus Staff because I have that. But if you have Seismics, obviously you can use that too. As for the armor, I do recommend having like Subjugation or maybe a little bit higher tank gear or even Nex armor. It really depends. I like Subjugation because you don't have to repair it, so I always use Subjugation even though I can afford the higher gear and stuff. And if you are like getting hit like a lot here, then Sea Singers is also a good gear set for magic. And then other than that, I mean, just bring a Charming Imp if you have it, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. As for the melee setup, I just recommend obviously the same kind of armor, like Bandos are higher. Maybe get, the tank gear Tetsu or Torva, whatever you want to do there. The armor doesn't really matter that much because the Rangers don't really hit you that much. It's just the meleeers that you like kill it with Mage are like the ones that really suck. But as for weapons, I'm using Drygors, but honestly, you can use anything higher than 70, 75. I recommend 80 or higher, so like Chaotix or maybe a little bit less and do God Swords. And then, yeah, I mean, there's so many different combos you can do for weapons and stuff, but yeah, I just say that maybe 75 is a bare minimum. And again, just bring Charming Imp if you have it. And as for the inventory, just remove the runes from the inventory if you are not maging, obviously. But this is a pretty good inventory setup for a 30-minute trip. You might have to give or take 1 or 2 prayer pots or food depending on how you do. I mean, there's nothing really spectacular about this inventory setup, so you can just, copy and paste if you really wanted to. Maybe add an item or 2 if you really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty simple gear sets and inventory requirements, so let's actually go into the part where I show you how to get there. Alright, let's show you guys how to get there. I'm going to show you how to get to the range and the mage ones. I mean, I don't really need to show you guys, but just in case someone like complains that I didn't show how to get there, I'm just going to show you guys. And this is the range in the mage area. I'm not going to do the fighting here because I have the mage gear on, and that's just because I just prefer the melee guys over the range and magers. In my opinion, I think the meleeers have better loot. Actually, you might kill them at the same speed. I don't really know. Or they might be a little bit faster, but I just don't really like this area. It's too packed, and there's usually people here, and then you might accidentally attack like the wrong one, and then you're stuck fighting that one for a while. So yeah, this is how you get to the rangers. Let's go to the meleeers. So it basically, I'm going to show you guys how to kill the meleeers. They're very easy. You just got to make sure you do anticipation and stuff like that because they do stun you half the time. And it's also good to use asphyxiation as well because that ability stuns them and it like one-hits them basically. You just do asphyxiation. You just do asphyxiation and they're dead basically. So here they are. They're actually right next to Morvran, which is the Slayer Master. But I mean, yeah, you guys probably have seen these guys. So they're the scouts and then the guards. I think they're the exact same experience. I'm pretty sure they are. I think their drops are the same as well. So you don't really have to discriminate which ones you kill. You can just kill whatever. And I usually start on the one on outside of the Morvran circle, and I start on that one, and then I go in here, maybe do a sunshine like right on this spot, running into it. Like maybe this spot right here, do a sunshine so I can hit basically all of them. It's very, very useful to do that. So I'm just going to overload, summon my yak. I don't really need a yak. You really don't need a yak. I just have one just to bank the rune items here and then because I'm too lazy. So turn on your prayers, and then I would turn on anticipation if they're melee distance from you. Usually they are, so you know, just start attacking them. I'm just going to keep my revolution going. And they die really quickly. They really do die quickly. And the thing about elves, if you've never fought them, is they don't like actually die. They just like fall into their little spot and just sit there. And they're like, oh, you bested me. And then they respawn in that exact spot. So if you wanted to, you could lure them all into this little circle. And then you can just have a big clusterfuck of all of them and get really good constant experience every time they spawn. So as you can see, I just got a coin drop and it drops 8,000. When they drop coins, it's 8,000 or 12,000. So it's very good coins. And it's just really good money. I love this task at and or monster kind of thing. So yeah, you basically just attack these guys. You you know, keep on fighting. They do damage a lot because they can put They can put bleeds on you. They can do thresholds. They have everything basically a player has. And they start with 50% adrenaline, so that can be a problem. They can threshold right off the bat, but they usually don't. So you don't really have to worry that much, but just remember to do anticipation as much as possible. If you did get like, you know, frozen or whatever, you use the freedom, or if anything, use the freedom to prevent from being stunned. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I know that this monster really doesn't need explaining, but if anyone actually needed help on this, that's why I made the video. And I don't know, I need to share things I love doing because it's kind of annoying when I do this task and people ask me how to do it. Like, it's not annoying, that wasn't a good word, it's just, it sucks because it's hard to explain like a monster over chat or on a YouTube comment because you're gonna like miss things. So yeah, I just felt like making a guide would be perfect for that, and you know, just help people out if they needed it. So I will show you guys the test that I did for 20 minutes on these guys. I did not test the Rangers and Magers, but I can tell you that they're pretty close to 3 mil an hour. They're roughly like 2.6, 2.7, something like that, depending on the GE prices. So yeah, I'll meet you guys there. Alright guys, so here is the items from my 20-minute test that I did on the Ioworth guards and scouts. So this is what you can expect in 20 minutes if you have basically my gear. And I did wear a Slayer helm, but I wasn't on task. I just, you know, didn't feel like changing it because that's just my preset. But you can expect more on a Slayer task, obviously. But as you can see in the inventory, I have a decent amount of charms. Like, their charms aren't that bad. They do kind of add up, and they are better than most monsters that you fight on Slayer because a lot of the things on Slayer, you really don't get charms. And then they do drop a lot of coin drops. Like, you can see 268k in 20 minutes. So just in coins, you get around 800k an hour. And then 2 different rune items that are like common. I got like 10 rune 2Hs and stuff. And then everything else, it just adds up and they're all noted. And then even if you had to bank, it's right next to the bank. And pretty much all the items are noted and stuff like that. So it's not too bad. Let's just price check, see how much I made in 20 minutes. Okay, I made 1.165 mil in 20 minutes. If you find that out for an hourly rate, that is roughly 3.5 mil an hour. So you can definitely expect 3 mil an hour or more on the meleeers. I didn't test the Rangers or Magers, but they're pretty close. But I prefer the meleeers because you just destroy them. And, you know, I think the Rangers and Magers are too close proximity. So if you're trying to only do one, you're bound to attack, you know, a different type. And it's kind of annoying. And they are my favorite Slayer tasks now. They beat Irits for me, honestly. But other than that, for the experience, like the experience per hour, I got 250k combat an hour, and that includes HP experience. So 250k an hour, and then Slayer is actually close to like 200k an hour on Slayer tasks. So it's actually the most Slayer per hour that you can get in game, basically. And it's like 3 mil an hour GP, and it also is 250k combat experience per hour. So it's really something you should not complain about. If you get a task here, definitely do it. I recommend it. They are really fun, really good money, and a pretty decent experience as well for combat. Hope you guys try these guys out and have a blast here and get a lot of money. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.